So after near 2 months of waiting, Valve has finally returned to open up 2025 Counter-Strike with an absolute bang. Now in the late afternoon of January 28th, CS devs have seemingly turned back online Premier matchmaking for their CS2 servers, and after a long wait of 440 days, Valve has finally also launched Season 2 of Premier. Now Valve did go pretty in-depth with this most recent update for Premier, where it wasn't just Premier Season 2 or the addition of Train. It seems like after last night, CS devs completely switched the weapon meta and also added dozens of different quality of life improvements. Now today's video, I want to break down last night's blog post, or this most recent one. We're also going to showcase and fill you in on everything you need to know for CS2's changed meta, and quite a few new bits of information that have just appeared behind the scenes still surrounding this most recent update. We're going to discuss all that alongside a bunch more. Now today's video sponsor is SkinsMonkey. SkinsMonkey is a buying but most notably trading marketplace for all your Counter-Strike needs. SkinsMonkey offers a wide variety of skins. Once you find the item you want, hit trade for either items you currently have or for one of many deposit options. You can use my code MANDO for up to a free $5 alongside a 35% deposit bonus. If interested, the link will be in the description down below. Now firstly for today's video is the meat and potatoes, that being the blog post and, well, Valve's new features. I want to firstly start off by listing the changes for Season 2 of Premier. For those who don't know, Premier Season 1 is officially out, and Premier Season 2 is in with the new. If you did meet the requirements and threshold to get your medal this season, that being for Season 1, and of course you obviously got a rank, you are going to receive a badge for Season 1, even though we are in Season 2, and if you haven't at this point, I'm assuming you're probably not going to get one in general. Now, it's not like your 5 or 10 year coin where you have to boot into the game to see if you got it. You can just go straight to your inventory from your Steam profile on your phone or your computer without even having to boot the game, which is pretty cool. And if you didn't get your badge for Season 1, I'm not really sure if you're going to be able to get this at all going forward for Season 1 anymore. So it seems like every single year and every single season, these medals and badges are exclusive. Now to state the obvious and the long-awaited tease that Valve has made over the last few months, Train is officially now in the Premier matchmaking map pool, and Vertigo is now out. Like we mentioned, this isn't crazy news because Valve started teasing this at the end of November, and Train has now officially been in the map pool for a little over a month inside the pro scene. I don't really know if Vertigo will ever return. Now in order to receive and get your rank for Season 2 Premier, you are going to have to win 10 games to earn your rank, and that's win, not complete. So for some people, if you're solo queuing, good luck to you. I'm also in the same boat half the time. Now, do I agree with Valve resetting ranks every 6 to 7 months for a new season? Yeah, I actually do, which I might go in a little more depth for a different video, but I really think it puts people, especially the players who are boosted, back in their well-selected category and just rank in the game. Now, based off your medals inside Season 2 of Premier that you got for Season 1 after completing a set amount of matches, you now pretty much have a free version of CSGO STATS that is available inside the game for free, which I gotta say is pretty awesome to see the least, but makes you wonder why Valve charged 99 cents for it all the way back in CSGO, which was originally free back in Broken Fang, but that's besides the point. Now, as it stands for gameplay in terms of maps and quality of life improvements from last night's update, Valve adjusted the scope and dot on the AUG and SG to be more usable at range, which this probably will be more emphasized in my Aftermath series, whereas we take a look at every single big CS2 update just a couple of days later to see how it really plays out. As much as I do think this is a quality of life improvement to make the AUG and SG better, I also think it's kind of almost a hidden tactic that Valve wants to make players and have players just use different weapons aside from the core meta, just make them a little bit more viable, despite them being overpriced and just not that good compared to the main rifles. Now, another quality of life improvement that many people had go under the radar, including myself, was actually something in the miscellaneous category that I didn't really see until Gabe Follower pointed out on Twitter. Now, Valve stated in the blog post they added fallback logic to allow playing incomplete demo files either copied from an ongoing live match or recovered after a game server crash. And where Gabe Follower came in is where he said it's not sure if it matters, but cheaters were abusing crashes at the end of a match to corrupt the demo file so they couldn't get into an Overwatch and spotted by VACnet, which, wow, that's pretty cool. I don't mean it's cool to cheat, but that's a pretty insane way to just kind of bypass the entire system. But I suppose I'm glad this is now gone. Speaking of Overwatch, where the heck is it? I mean, it's been a little over a year since it's been out of the game, and it's still not available for anyone to use. Maybe that's the next big update for 2025. Who knows? And as it stands for the major wall hack bug that was used from just removing game files just a couple of weeks ago alongside the Gary's mod addition to CS2 servers, it wasn't stated in the blog post that this was removed or fixed, but neither was the situation with Gary's mod being added to CS2. So I have a very strong feeling this is now patched, but as of right now, there's no solid or firm evidence that I have, but I will update y'all when we have more intel. And as it stands for the UI category, Valve actually had some pretty great quality of life improvements where they increased the brightness of the carried C4 in the UI, as well as devs added a brand new dynamic radar zoom setting that will grow or shrink your radar to include your teammates, bomb, and other detectable elements inside the game and map and just round that you're on in that current moment, which I gotta say is pretty interesting, but I think this is one of those additions that we're not really gonna know if it's really good in the end versus just getting all the way zoomed out like you have in the past until I review it and have some time to play with it for my Aftermath series. And of course, lastly for today's video is weapon and meta changes. Valve seems to really want players to start using weapons that are not being used, at least as much as they were in the past, and also changes the CT side has played where players are going to buy less SMGs and use more rifles or just eco more often. Feels like we're kind of going back to the days of everyone just buying a 5.7 P250 or Deagle instead of buying the SMG, instead of buying the shotgun. And now we're just buying Deagles, nades, maybe some armor to try and win the round, or well, just get an eco until we get to rifles. Valve has nerfed the MP9, MP5, and MP7, MP7, where they've reduced all their crouching accuracy, which is pretty interesting because not many people use the MP5 or MP7. Most people would just use the MP9, because now with the price of the MP7, the FAMAS is only a couple extra $100, so you might as well just go with that option if that's what you're going to go with. It's just the MP7 has a higher armor penetration. But I'm really interested to see how this kind of plays into competitive, and especially the pro scene in the matter of just a couple of weeks, let alone the next 24 to 48 hours. The FAMAS, at least at this moment, for a lot of people seems to be broken, where the burst seems to be back for a lot of people. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's some sort of placebo, but it seems to be back better than ever. And because it's $1,900 now, and they also buffed it a little bit with the crouching accuracy and just spray patterns in general, so it's easier to control, I think we're going to see a lot more people force buy a FAMAS than, let's just say, an MP9 or something of that category, at least sometimes, and it also depends at some points in the game. Now, with that being said, that pretty much concludes last night's blog post, its changes and additions. And is it me, or did you guys find this update slightly disappointing? Mainly because of just the amount of teases that Valve had and telling us that for the first time in history an update was going to come out before actually releasing the update. With that being said, we're going to discuss that more in our Aftermath video that should be out later this week. And to close things for today's video, we will be live playing Premiere Season 2 here on YouTube tomorrow morning, and hopefully every morning going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, Fallout.